Chapter 631. At this moment, everyone let out deafening cheers. In the next second, a series of bang 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 sounds rang out. The night sky was lit up by gorgeous fireworks. Amidst the dazzling fireworks, Hu Liancheng suddenly kissed Jian Yun. His eyes were as warm as water. "Bad girl, I love you too. I love you very much." The blessing instantly flooded over like a tide. Some people cried tears of joy, while others screamed in surprise. At the end, the scene of the two in love hugging each other tightly. Hu Liancheng couldn't wait to fix the wedding in a month's time. He wanted to get married in a week's time. He did not want to delay any longer. However, Granny Liao and the others said that a week's time was too rushed and they did not have time to prepare. That was why they persuaded Hu Liancheng to reluctantly agree. That night's high-profile marriage proposal ceremony spread through the media all over the world. From that moment onwards, 3 days later, not only did the popularity of Hu Liancheng's proposal not subside, but the discussion became more and more heated. Even a certain Emperor Star marriage hero could not suppress the topic of a few 100 million yuan wedding. However, Jian Yun did not know this. She had already quit her phone a long time ago. Now, apart from answering the phone or taking pictures and videos of Qi, she basically did not use her phone. It was also because she had been hurt by the rumors on the internet previously. Currently, Jian Yun was very busy every day. She had to take care of Che and exercise her body so that she could recover to her best condition and wear a wedding dress. She also had to practice piano and be close to Hu Liancheng. She really did not have the time to pay attention to the rumors in the outside world. Jian Yun had originally made an appointment with Professor Yu to study with him after she gave birth. But now the situation had changed. She did not want Hu Liancheng to not live in different places because of her. He had many things to do. It would be too tiring if he stayed on both sides. That was why she followed him to the imperial capital and decided to live in the imperial capital in the future. If she wanted to learn piano, she would have to walk on both sides. This way, Hu Liancheng could not bear to part with her. Therefore, he personally contacted Professor Yu and used his connections to transfer Professor Yu to the music academy in the capital. Professor Yu did not have any objections. He was originally from the imperial capital. His son and daughter-in-law were working in the imperial capital, and his wife had retired. This way, he could reunite with his family in the imperial capital. He could also take in a closed-door disciple that he was extremely satisfied with. Jian Yun went to the music academy 4 days in the morning to listen to Professor Yu's lessons. Although she was talented, she had not received systematic training for many years, so these were indispensable. Jian Yun felt that her current life was very fulfilling. Time passed in a flash, and a month passed in the blink of an eye. The wedding date would be 3 days later. With everyone's hard work, everything that was needed for the wedding seemed to have been prepared. Hu Liancheng had originally planned to hold a wedding on a private island. He had already planned the most romantic honeymoon, but in the end, he was opposed. The one who opposed was naturally Ouyang Bicheng. What he meant was that Jian Yun was a member of the Ouyang family and was going to marry off from King Hu. Hu Liancheng knew in his heart that Ouyang Bicheng did not want Jian Yun to be wronged. He wanted everyone to see Jian Yun's grand wedding, so after weighing the pros and cons, Hu Liancheng agreed. Therefore, Jian Yun brought Qi back to her mother's house 2 weeks ago. She wanted to get married from here. Hu Liancheng still had things to settle and did not return to Green Lake with Jian Yun. However, even if he came back, he probably would not be able to meet Jian Yun every day, because Ouyang Bicheng had come back on vacation. She kept Jian Yun very close to her. It was unknown if it was because they were born to be hostile. Hu Liancheng and Ouyang Bicheng had never had a good relationship. They never paid attention to each other when they met. Yang Bicheng was Jian Yun's uncle. Even if Hu Liancheng did not cause trouble for Yang Bicheng, he would not be able to flare up. He could only endure it. These days, Jian Yun did not idle around. She tried wedding dresses, and listened to the host introduce the wedding process. There were too many trivial things. Fortunately, Bao Yanran, Lu Yunyan, and Wu Wenjing helped her, and her days went by very quickly. While preparing for the wedding, there was a small interlude. It was Luo Yanyan and Wu Wenjing who told Jian Yun. Jian Yun could not help but laugh when she heard about it. This matter was related to Hu Liancheng's confession that night when he proposed to Jian Yun. In front of the media all over the world, he said that his acquaintance with Jian Yun was when he was wandering around and had a serious illness. When he was bullied, it was Jian Yun who stepped forward and did not despise his identity as a homeless person who saved him. Then, it was said that all the women in the country had gone crazy. Almost every day, a group of women could be seen walking through the streets and alleys in search of suspicious vagrants. Every one of them fantasized that they could also casually pick up a hidden, super-rich man like Jian Yun. At first, those vagabonds were especially happy when they were brought home by beautiful women. But once they were washed clean, these women discovered that these people did not have any temperament. Some even lost their teeth and cowered. Clearly, they were true vagabonds. They were immediately greatly disappointed. They were a little calmer and directly chased them away. The more radical ones even had to beat them up first. Those vagabonds who had already been through a lot of hardship were in a miserable state. Now, as long as the tramps saw a beautiful woman rushing over with bright eyes, they would be so scared that they would shiver and run away. There were even some homeless people who started to run away from Green Lake. Because many people tacitly agreed that the place where Jian Yun and Hu Liancheng met was Green Lake. They regarded Green Lake as the golden holy land where they caught the son-in-law of a golden turtle. A while ago, a lot of people suddenly rushed in and wandered the streets every day. Jian Yun only treated this matter as a joke. It was fine if she had heard of it, because she knew very well that her meeting with Hu Liancheng was fated by the heavens. It was not something that could be easily imitated by women who just wanted to find a rich person to marry. The wedding was going to be held tomorrow, because she was worried that there would be too many people tomorrow, and it would scare Chu. So Granny Liao came to pick Che up in the evening. So Jian Yun sat there all night, somewhat bored, watching Yang Fei happily take the wedding candy to the neighbors. It had been a week since she last saw Hu Liancheng, because according to the customs of King Hu, a newly married mother was not allowed to meet her husband before getting married. Actually, this custom only said that they would not see each other the night before marriage. It was just that Yang Bicheng could not bear to see Hu Liancheng, and still hated the grievances Jian Yun suffered when she was pregnant in the capital. He was just deliberately making things difficult for Hu Liancheng. Jian Yun was very helpless, but she was also really grateful for Ouyang Biangcheng and Baoi Yanran's help when she was at her worst. So no matter what, she did not want to refute Yang Bicheng. Moreover, she also understood that Yang Bicheng did this to show his attitude to Hu Liancheng. She still had him behind Jian Yun. As long as Hu Liancheng dared to bully Jian Yun, Yang Bicheng would be the first to not let him go. How could Hu Liancheng not know this? His heart was as clear as a mirror, so although he was very unhappy with Ouyang Bicheng, he did not object. No matter what, Jian Yun was already his person. She had endured it for so long, and this week would pass. Most importantly, she loved him. They still had a cute baby. Moreover, they had experienced so much together, and would not allow others to instigate and destroy them with just a few words. Finally, it was the day of the wedding. Qing Hu's side picked up the bride before 8 o'clock in the morning, so Jian Yun got up at 3 o'clock to put on makeup and do her hair. Yang Fei and the rest had already gotten up early and were busy. It was still dark outside, but the house was full of people. It was not even 6 o'clock when the firecrackers outside exploded. Jian Yun's grandmother could not help being surprised. It's not even 6 yet. Why are you here so early? It seems that someone must have not slept for the whole night. He can't wait. Wen Jing looked at Jian Yun's mischievous smile. Jian Yun pursed her lips and smiled. Her happiness was written all over her face. Since they couldn't meet for the past few days, she and Hu Liancheng could only use the phone to contact each other. Last night, he had even talked to her for 2 hours via video call. They kept talking sweet words. He was so sick of her sweet talk that he could not bear to hang up if he did not know that she had to get up early to put on makeup. While they were talking, there was already a commotion outside the door. Everyone had come up and was knocking on the door. Wenjing, Lu Yanyan, Baoi Yanren, and some of the younger generation of the Aoyang family rushed over and started to block the door to ask for red packets. Originally, Yang Fei wanted Hu Liancheng to casually prepare a few red packets, but Big Boss Hu was rich and wealthy. He had prepared 88 red packets in one go, and each of them contained a thick stack of cash. Last night, he was very pleased with himself and said to Jian Yun that he would stuff all 88 red packets in one go tomorrow. He would definitely open the door immediately. Jian Yun was speechless. She only said 88, and that was goodbye. Such an unlucky number, to think that he could come up with such an unlucky number. Hu Liansheng broke out in a cold sweat when he heard that. He quickly followed Jian Yun's instructions and changed the 88 red packets to 18. Jian Yun heard the commotion outside. She was dressed in full clothes and was sitting on the bed. At this moment, she was both nervous and looking forward to it. This was their wedding. She could finally marry him. This kind of blissful feeling filled her heart and swelled up. Not only did she not feel sleepy after half a night of sleep, but she was also very excited. Although she was married before, she only got the certificate and was tricked by him. To be honest, Jian Yun was scared when she just got the certificate. She did not know why someone of Hu Liancheng's status would find a woman of ordinary background like her. She had even once wondered if he had other motives. For example, he was coveting some of her organs, or he wanted to use her child to save someone. It turned out that she had read too many novels. He loved her and treated her with all his heart and soul, but she had always been uneasy. Later on, she had even been easily incited to suspect him. Thinking of this, Jian Yun could not help but sigh. How could she have imagined that the person she casually saved 7 years ago would one day be so deeply involved with her and love her so deeply? She also loved him so deeply. Coming. Why so quickly? Grandma Yang, who was waiting by the door, suddenly exclaimed. Jian Yun recovered from her memories and immediately saw Wu Wenjing and the others coax into her room and then close the door. Jian Yun, your President Hu is really too cruel. Do you know how many red packets he stuffed in one go? There are more than 10 of them, and each of them is thick inside. At least a few thousand. This is the first time I saw red packets stuffed so much. If it was not because he really could not fit in, he would continue to stuff in. Sure enough, he is rich and does not lack money. Wenjing took out the red packets from her pocket and kept nagging. When she took out the thick stack of bills and casually tapped on them, her eyes immediately lit up with green light. Fuck, I'm going to faint. What the hell are you fainting for? You're the one who stole the most. Luo Yanyan rolled her eyes at Wu Wenjing in a bad mood. Aren't you embarrassed? You fought so hard with a group of children. Yanyan, how can you say that? This is all money. I'm also getting along with Jian Yun. Wenjing was beaming with joy. This red packet could catch up to her 1 month's salary. How could she not be happy? Coming. This side must be well guarded. We cannot be knocked down by the sugar-coated cannonballs again. Bai Yanran had been paying attention to the outside the entire time. When she heard the noise coming over, she hurriedly reminded Wenjing and Luo Yanyan. She was also speechless. Just now these guys had said it nicely, saying that they must make things difficult for Hu Liancheng. In the end, they did not make things difficult for him for a while. They said that the stronghold red packet was a red packet. They opened the door and a thick stack of red packets came in from outside. In the end, these guys who were just looking at Hu Liancheng changed instantly. They all rushed over to grab the red packets. Hu Liancheng and his men easily pushed the door open. Okay. Wenjing and Luo Yanyan nodded. At this time, there was a knock on the door. Mr. Hu, if you want to come in, you can come in. You have to make a statement to Jian Yun first. Wenjing was the first to shout. Duo, I love you. Outside, Hu Liancheng opened his mouth and said, I will treat you well for the rest of my life. I will buy you a row of houses and write your name. I will give you all my cards. If you tell me to go east, I will not go west. Outside, there were bursts of screams. Inside the house, Wu Wenjing and Luo Yanyan were speechless. I will give all of Hu Liancheng's cards to you. Jian Yun, you sent them. Jian Yun just pursed her lips and smiled. Her heart was already blooming with sweetness. Can you open the door? Hu Liancheng finished his confession in one breath and knocked on the door again. Bai Yanran felt that such a great opportunity would not come until Hu Liancheng was whole. So she rolled her eyes and said with a smile, If you sing another song, open the door. There was silence outside. Wenjing's heart skipped a beat and asked with her mouth shape, Could he be angry? How could it be? Such a great day. How could he be angry? Luo Yanyan waved her hand. Sure enough, just as Luo Yanyan finished speaking, Hu Liancheng's voice sounded again. Sing what? Lover's love. After Bai Yanran finished speaking, she heard sounds coming from outside. Clearly, everyone was shocked. Can we change to another song? Lover's love is such an old and vulgar song. I, fourth brother, don't sing it very well. Cheng Mu said outside. This is a good song, Cheng Mu said. If you don't sing it, someone else will sing it. Yang Bicheng's decisive voice sounded. He had always disliked Hu Liancheng. The women in the room looked at each other when they heard this. This was serious. If Hu Liancheng didn't sing, how would they end it? Jian Yun, why don't we open the door? Luo Yanyan was also a little conflicted. Today was Jian Yun's good day. She could not let it be ruined just because they made a joke. Jian Yun pursed her lips. Wait. She was not worried that Hu Liancheng would turn hostile. She was sure that he would sing. She just wanted to hear what Hu Liancheng would be like when he sang about his sister sitting at the bow of the boat. Thinking of this, Jian Yun felt a little mischievous in her heart. Sure enough, when people outside saw that they could not reconcile, Ouyang Bicheng's words provoked people again. In just a few seconds, Hu Liancheng's impassioned voice began to sing. Sister, sit on the bow. Brothers walking on the shore. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Slowly. And the female department sing too. Yang Bicheng asked for a higher difficulty. In order to marry his wife, Hu Liancheng decided to give it his all. He pinched his throat and shouted, Little sister, my little sister, I will sit on the bow. Brother, you can walk on the shore. Our love on the string is leisurely and leisurely. Everyone was there. Everyone was shaking their shoulders. They looked like they wanted to laugh but did not dare to. Cheng Mu's laughed 3 times. He was shot by Hu Liancheng's eye blade. He immediately shut his mouth and deleted the video on his phone. However, in the room, the few women had already laughed to their heart's content. Jian Yun, I helped you take revenge. Now, I'm going to open the door. Ba Yanran laughed until tears came out. She did not expect Big Boss Hu to fight so hard just to get a wife. Wait, quick, Wu Wenjing, get me the cover. Luo Yanyan saw Bao Yanran go to open the door and quickly pulled the big red cover from Wu Wenjing's hand and covered Jian Yun's head. Open the door. Bao Yanran suddenly opened the door and quickly moved to the side. Then she saw Hu Liancheng walk in first. Behind him were 7 or 8 handsome young men. Clearly, they were his super cool groomsmen group. The moment Bao Yanran, Wu Wenjing, and Lu Yanyan saw Hu Liancheng, they could not help but take a cold breath. Because the big boss was too handsome today. She saw him take off his usual suit and put on a traditional wedding dress. The dark red color was solemn, and it matched his handsome face. Today, he was not as cold as usual. There was even a trace of a smile on the corner of his mouth. Clearly, he was in a good mood. Bao Yanran was relieved when she saw this. She was worried that Big Boss Hu would be unhappy after being messed with. It seemed that she was thinking too much. Hu Liancheng was really going all out to marry his wife. Hu Liancheng's eyes immediately locked onto the person who was sitting on the bed in a traditional red wedding dress. He could not move his eyes away. Even though she covered her head and could not see anything, he knew that she was smiling at him. I'm here. Hu Liancheng walked over and knelt on one knee. He handed the flowers in his hands to Jian Yun. Then he reached out and held Jian Yun's hands. He looked up at her, and his voice was so gentle that it seemed like it could drip water. Yes, Jian Yun replied softly. The two of them looked at each other through the big red cover. Even though their vision was hazy, it could not stop the strong affection. The surrounding people were stuffed with a handful of dog food, but the scene in front of them was too beautiful. No one disturbed them. Everyone was taking pictures. In the end, Yongfei said, All right, Yanran, quickly help her put on the bracelet collar. Liancheng, put Yunduo's shoes on later. Hurry up. Don't miss the good time. Actually, it was still very early, but Yongfei only needed to think that Jian Yun would really marry today. Her heart inexplicably felt a little bitter. This was probably the inexpressible thought of being a parent. She said these words to divert her attention. Perhaps she was infected by Ouyang Fei's emotions. Jian Yun's grandmother was also wiping her eyes. You old hag, why are you wiping your eyes? Sigh, why do I feel like my eyes are very sore? Is there sand in my eyes? Jian Yun's grandfather originally wanted to scold grandma, but in the end, he also rubbed his eyes. Bao Yanran quickly ran over to take the gold jewelry Hu Liancheng brought and helped Jian Yun put them on one by one. Jian Yun covered her head and could feel her entire body shining. She also immediately felt her body becoming heavy. This was the tradition of Hu family. A newly married woman had to wear gold all over her body, which meant that gold was expensive. However, what Jian Yun did not know was that in the eyes of others, her jewelry was like being jealous to death. Hu Liancheng had not seen Jian Yun for many days. He was impatient and wanted to steal her cover to look at her, but just as he moved, he was stopped by Wu Wenjing. President Hu, you can't remove the veil now. In ancient times, only brides can look at a wedding night groom. At least wait until you bring Jian Yun home and then look at her quietly. If you look at her here, won't it benefit these men? Wenjing giggled and talked nonsense. Hu Liansheng, however, deeply agreed with her. Hu Liansheng nodded his head. Today was his joyous day. Jian Yun would definitely dress up well. He did not know how beautiful she was. Indeed, he should wait until Jian Yun was brought home. He closed the door and slowly admired her by himself. Thinking of this, Hu Liansheng quickly retracted his hand. This made the best men behind him stretch their necks and want to see her face. They were very disappointed. Put on your shoes. Yang Fei handed over a box. Hu Liansheng opened the box and took out a pair of red crystal shoes. This was specially made for Jian Yun. The surface of the shoes was inlaid with natural crystals. The craftsmanship was superb. Under the natural light, it reflected a bright light. All the women present opened their eyes wide with envy. How much did Hu Liansheng love Jian Yun that he would do this for her? Wei Wenjing supported Jian Yun, and Hu Liansheng picked up her delicate little feet and lightly pinched them. Feeling Jian Yun tremble, Hu Liansheng felt warmth in his heart and gently put on crystal shoes for her. The matchmaker began to sing a good song. Cheyenne Yun's family's custom was that when a girl married, she would be carried out by her family's brothers. However, she was the only daughter in the family and did not have any brothers. Although Yang Bicheng, this little uncle, was young, his identity was there and he could not carry her on his back. Therefore, Hu Liansheng, the bridegroom, would carry her personally. Hu Liansheng was very satisfied with this. He was not willing to let other men touch her, not even her relatives. Amidst the sounds of firecrackers, Hu Liansheng carried Jian Yun on his back. When he felt her leaning on him, the fragrance was soft, and his heart was extremely excited. The wedding procession was very long, and the wedding procession was luxurious. A row of top luxury cars attracted countless people's attention. Under everyone's gaze, Jian Yun happily married off. The villa they lived in was arranged into a wedding room. Jian Yun was carried in by Hu Liansheng all the way. She hugged his neck and nestled in his arms, feeling happy everywhere. The current wedding custom had been simplified, but the new bride still wanted to eat osmanthus seeds and red dates. These symbolized the birth of a rich son. The matchmaker said some auspicious words and withdrew, giving the space to a pair of newlyweds. When only Hu Liansheng and Jian Yun were left in the new room, the air suddenly became quiet. Hu Liansheng was already impatient. He reached out his hand to remove the cover of Jian Yun's hair, and what entered his eyes was a beautiful face. Jian Yun was originally beautiful. Although she was not a beauty that could topple cities, she naturally had a kind of elegant beauty